Welcome to episode 276 of the Ross Bolen podcast, otherwise known as RBP 276, presented by Bolen Media. I am your host, of course, Ross Bolen, joined today again by my producer, co-host extraordinaire, Mariah Gossett.
I'm here, 6 feet away, but here.
I was going to say good morning because we were supposed to start at like 10:30.
Yeah,
It's
ideally.
not really morning anymore, but it's still like the earliest you've ever seen me. So I was going to ask,
so.
are you a morning person?
I used to be a person who could get up at 5 a.m.,
Oh, wow.
but that's not the case anymore because I work for myself and don't have to do that anymore.
Ah, so you no longer have the motivation to do that.
Right. Like, why?
But when you did get up at 5 a.m., were you like, one of those people?
I
all
mean,
smiley and like fucking ready to rock?
sort of. I used to competitively swim, so I would just like roll out of bed and get into a pool.
Okay, that'll wake you up nice.
Yeah, so that's like forced awakening.
I would argue swimming is among the best ways you could wake yourself up.
It's not bad,
God, I wish I had a pool.
right?
Seriously, that's like one of my bucket list American dream things. I need a pool at some point. It's fucking hot in Texas.
Put it in the budget.
Yeah. An environmentally conscious pool, of course. I have never, ever in my entire fucking life been a morning person. I do not know how these people do it. Popping up all spry and ready to go. Like, I wake up wanting to go back to sleep because sleep rules. Sleep is the good shit. And it's one of the finer things in life. And y'all are stoked to not be sleeping? Like, get the fuck out of here. I reserve that totally normal feeling for nighttime when the rest of you are sleeping. I'm like Batman. I am Batman.
The Batman.
What? Also, if you're not doing this already, I might have invented this concept. I'm not sure. The cough call-out. So the purpose being cough differentiation to let people know you're not one of the infected, right?
It's a good call.
Now, I did this the other day. I was in the grocery store, right? Had to be there. I won't explain why. Didn't want to be there. I'll just say that. Had to be there, though, as we all do from time to time. There are workarounds, by the way, for this.
Curbside is dope.
Curbside is tight. We've got these delivery services and such now that are working with the grocers to make sure we all can get our groceries safely and such. There are workarounds. We're going to be just fine, folks. But the point is this. I was in the grocery store, and somebody went, and there's 500
Everyone
people in
just
line.
jumps.
There's
Yeah.
500 people in line. So everybody's like, oh, what's up, bro? What's up? What was that, bro? You can explain that? What was that cough, dog? We're going to need to know. It's like this dude's about to get jumped, taken out back, and potentially beaten to death. This motherfucker coughed. Drag him out of here.
There's like a gif of that, of like someone made, or a little like not Vine, what is it now?
TikTok.
A TikTok video where folks are at the bus stop and
Somebody coughs.
someone coughs and someone like gets out the Lysol and starts spraying
Oh,
everything.
yeah, I saw that.
And then someone like shoots him off camera. Like,
But that happened in real fucking life. In the grocery store, everyone's heads. It was like 500 seagulls on the beach when you throw a French fry up in the air. Everybody just went, mine, 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 mine. Nobody did that part.
except the opposite, like, get out.
Except instead of going toward the French fry, everybody evacuated the grocery store immediately. But no, so it occurred to me like, damn, you really got to identify these coughs. You need to do a cough call out. So like, 40 minutes later, when I had moved up 3 spots in line and had about another hour and a half to go before I could get up there for my one item, there was no self-checkout at my Randall's. Everything about this was poorly thought out by me. I had a little like a little dry throat. I was like, tried to hold it in because everybody's like trying not to cough. So I was like, and then I was just like, weed cough. That's a weed cough. It's fine.
Don't worry.
So you got to identify these. And there's several versions, really. There are lots of reasons for people to cough. Not everybody that coughs is one of the infected. Smokers cough. If y'all rip cigs actively, you're going to have a smoker's cough. Them shits are terrible for you.
Allergies. I've got a bad allergy cough right now. That oak pollen, killing me.
Son of a bitch, allergies. I'm with you. I'm in the same boat. They're terrible. And every time I have even the slightest allergic feeling in my face, I'm like, I've got the goddamn corona.
And then
How do you identify what's what?
It's just
I
the
don't,
outside.
just for the record.
It's just the outside.
It's just living in Austin, Texas. Allergies cause you to cough. You could have a pubic hair stuck in your throat.
That's a very particular cough, though. That's that like
It's like
very back of throat.
It's
yeah.
a hairball cough.
Yeah. The cat wrench.
You're trying to get it out. You could just be parched for real and have a cough get a little dry cough as a result. People are going to be terrified. They might jump you. You better do a cough call out. Cough differentiation, very important in these times. It could also just be cocaine drip. Causing you to cough.
Probably less of that as people don't go out to bars.
Yeah, cocaine dealers are suffering right now.
It's not a good time.
Nobody is hitting up their blow dealer right now.
I mean, maybe some people are just like
Only
really
the most
into
psychotic
those, like,
of us.
Those like at-home DJ parties that have been happening.
Sure. The silent discos.
Yeah.
Those are illegal. They should be illegal right now. Silent discos should be banned worldwide right now. Should go without saying. But also just anyone doing cocaine should be put in prison. If you're doing cocaine during the pandemic, you are among the most psychotic of us. You're supposed to be doing chill out drugs. Have a drink. Smoke some ganj. Literally anything but cocaine. We're all way too on edge for y'all to be doing blow right now. Fucking relax. Take a load off. Here's me speaking random words for 5 to 10 seconds to put a slight bumper between me talking about illicit substances and our first sponsor of the day. RBP 276 is brought to you by MyBookie. No sports? No problem. MyBookie offers the latest and most popular game titles and state-of-the-art software. Hit the casino, baby! And you can actually bet on all kinds of crazy shit on MyBookie. You all have seen the casinos are all getting into like the weather betting game, and you can bet on the elections coming up and stuff. You don't need sports to still get your fix on MyBookie. No need to leave the comfort of your home. It's all at your fingertips. You're not allowed to leave the comfort of your home anyway. And all the real casinos have been shut the hell down. Thank God for the internet.
Still going strong.
Still going strong. MyBookie features a truly flawless live casino complete with professional dealers. This is actually like one of the more mind-blowing things I've ever experienced. I love playing on there because you're looking at a real human being dealing cards when you're playing blackjack. It's crazy. The future is now. They got slot games, all the shit you would expect from a casino. Video poker variants, they have something for everybody. Take advantage of all their daily promotions for the casino, which include bonuses, cashbacks, raffles, free chips, and free spins for you to increase your chances of winning every single day. Also, you can put your skills to the test in their latest free blackjack and slots tournaments, which include a free $10,000 prize pool blackjack tournament. You're stuck at home, don't even sweat it. They've got you covered. Join now and start winning today. You're sick and tired of getting the runaround when you ask for a payout. MyBookie pays fast when you win. With decades of experience, great customer service, and hassle-free transactions, why would you bet anywhere else? Visit mybookie.ag. Use the promo code RBPCasino during these trying times for a 150% bonus on your first deposit with a 40 times rollover. That's how online sportsbook and casino bonuses work, if you're confused. If you're going to use the bonus, you will have a rollover, which means you have to hit that rollover before you can cash out because they're matching your money, your deposit, with basically free money, you know. That's the deal. So if you're confused about how that works, please look at it before you do anything here. MyBookie.ag, code RBPCasino, 150% bonus, up to $750 on your first deposit. But you have that 40 times rollover you got to hit before you can withdraw. So remember that. Bet with the biggest, win with the best, only at MyBookie. No sports, no problem. Hit the online casino, baby. Bet on some politics if you want, or the weather, what the hell ever. Whatever you got to do to get through. Some announcements and shouts. First off, if you're looking for
Reversed forward again.
Thank you. If you're looking for an internship or even more substantial work, creating social media video clips from this podcast, the Ross Bolen podcast, we're trying to get more video interns so we can make more of these clips for distribution on Instagram, on Twitter, perhaps even the hated Facebook. If you're interested in making those for us, or if you have that skill set, you have to have the skill set. I can't teach you the skill set. You need to come ready to be able to do this already. Holler at my email, ross@rossbolenpodcast.com. Trying to find more interns, coming up with like a per video rate for y'all, so y'all can make a little extra money making videos and helping me grow the show. I know some of y'all have a lot of free time right now that didn't previously exist. Holler at me. A lot of my old video interns fell off. Need more. Need to fill the roster back up. Ross@rossbolenpodcast.com. Huge happy birthday to Noah Singletary. Thank you for supporting the show and listening. It means a lot. Dude, you had like 5 friends spamming me on every single platform to get you this shout out. So happy birthday, Noah. You must be a pretty good dude, or you're some kind of cult leader, because this was like some incessant shit. I mean, it was Instagram, it was Twitter. I had an email from every single one of these people. This dude, Noah.
Intense.
Doing something right. Happy birthday to Blake Law. And that's it as far as the men's and fact checking. I mean, as far as the announcements and shouts go. And we're not even going to do a men's and fact checking, because intern Natalie, in the midst of this chaos, hasn't had time yet.
It happens.
And hey, let's be real. If I don't have to call myself out for doing things incorrectly, I don't want to. So let's move straight into our first segment, Hotline Calls.
We gotta get you like a weird remix to like Hotline Bling as a
musical intro to this.
Yeah.
It does feel like we do hotline calls frequently enough that I should have Sam O'Hare work on a little transitional musical number for this.
It'd be fun.
I will holler at the man. I'm sure he needs extra work right now too, as we all do. Also, I believe that right now more than ever, it's important to keep a pulse on the people. And as such, we will be playing 3 calls today, all of which I've hand-selected for the purpose of entertaining, mystifying, and perhaps even enchanting you. Our number is 888-WR-BOLEN. You call it, you ask a question, give us a theory, a hypothetical, a trash or not trash. By the way, many of you very confused about what that even entails anymore. I'm going to try to explain again today, but my God, the confusion is just next level. You could sing a song if you want to. The hotline also serves for a lot of y'all as just a place to vent. And right now, I know a lot of y'all need a place to vent. So if you need to, call it. It gives you 2 minutes. Say what you need to say. If it's not for the show, I'll delete it. Fuck it. Just say it's not for the show. Be specific. I don't want to play your call and then have you hit me up saying you're freaking out because I played something you didn't intend for me to play. You put it on the hotline, you doofus. There was always a chance. 888-WR-BOLEN. Call from a safe, quiet,
Please be quiet.
corona-free, wind-free, not a, airplane or an F-9 fighter jet. Is that a thing?
Sure.
I don't know. 888-WR-BOLEN. Here's your first call for today. Right.
Hey, Ross,
No.
This is Sarah from Nashville, and I'm calling because I listen all the time, and I hear you talking about calling your grandparents. My grandma's my best friend. I call her literally all the time. But for the past 3 days, she has not answered the phone, right? So today I call her. She doesn't answer. Does not respond to text messages. Have to call her retirement community and have them do a welfare check on her because she's not answering the phone, right? She lives by herself. My grandma didn't answer the phone for 3 days because she's been playing Candy Crush and didn't want to be bothered. So maybe give me your grandma's number, or if anyone else wants to give me a grandma to talk to, because mine obviously has better things to do.
What a time to not answer the phone.
Dude, that's a grandma making a point.
She's like, I'm fine.
That's a grandma saying, oh, now you want to check on me. Mm-hmm. Now everybody's calling. I'm playing Candy Crush, bitch. Back off.
Hard to get grandma.
Wellness check. That grandma has been waiting for this moment forever. Perhaps it's the opposite. Perhaps she was sick of being bugged and checked on constantly. And this was just her opportunity to say, you know what?
Fuck it.
I'm out. Candy Crush time. Or it's just that she finally discovered Candy Crush and...
Went all in.
Listen, one of the reasons that game was so successful. Imagine being a grandma, never played a video game in your whole damn life, much less Sims or whatever the fuck you played when you were a kid. Whatever you freaks are building on Minecraft these days. And somebody hands you Candy Crush. Yo, that is like cocaine, ecstasy, and acid combined put into your grandma's head right there. That's the most fucking exciting thing she's ever played in her entire life. She's been on this planet for 86 years, and Candy Crush is the most magical thing she has ever seen. So yeah, she turns off the cellular feature on her phone because she knows how to do that. She's super technology savvy, your grandma.
She's figured it out.
Mm-hmm. She even turns off the fucking Wi-Fi just so she can't be identified through that network either. Wait, that doesn't make sense. You need the internet.
You
She's
need
on the
something.
Wi-Fi. She stays on the community Wi-Fi. Perhaps she logs into her neighbor's next door, Janice's Wi-Fi. They share their passwords with each other just in case in time of emergency. Sometimes Janice's works better than your grandma's.
She needs that 5G.
Anyway, she's hooked on Candy Crush.
Glad she's okay.
I can't believe they did a wellness check. I'm imagining like the fire department coming in with a fucking axe, like axing off the doorknob and then just kicking in the door. And she's in there.
It's like getting doxxed, but for old people.
She's fucking sitting in there.
Just on her phone.
What?
What do
Or
you need?
she runs out of time right as they're kicking in the door because she lost focus and didn't crush that last bubble or collect that last
Just
watermelon or
screams.
whatever. She's like, God damn it! What, are you fucking serious? I was focused here. I was in the zone. Thank you for sharing the story with us. That's incredible. I'm also, that's your grandma. What a sassy one.
It's great.
3 days straight. Didn't want to be bothered. Wellness check. Candy Crush addict. Also, remember, very important to call your grandparents at this time. August, every year, we do International Call Your Grandparents Month here on RBP. I believe we invented it here on RBP, if I'm not mistaken. I never know. During this weird-ass pandemic, you don't have shit else to do. They're stuck in their homes playing Candy Crush, trying to avoid the Grim Reaper. Call your grandparents. No better time than right now. Y'all ready for call numero dos?
Let's do it.
Here she blows.
Hey Ross, this is Matt from Houston. So I'm only under day 3 of quarantine, and I've probably jerked off about 30 times in 3 days. And the 2 dates that I was supposed to have this weekend were canceled. So I was wondering if there's an alternative to me just pleasuring myself for the time being. All right, let me know. Gang, gang, gang.
I mean, I saw a meme the other day that apparently masturbation is good for your immune system. So he's really just looking out for him.
Yeah, to a point. That's like the drinking a glass of wine a day is good for your heart. If you crank like once a day, I'm sure that is probably good for you. I believe like mentally and physically that's probably good for you. I don't even need to read a science book. I just know from experience.
Good to go.
But your question of, first of all, 30 times in 3 days, sir.
10 times. I would be more worried about friction. Like, if you're going to do it, you better
have good lubrication.
like make sure you bought like the bulk lube at Costco.
You really need to be paying attention to how your skin is reacting to 30 times in 3 days. Also, you need to be spacing these out appropriately.
And make sure you're paying for your porn. I mean, that's a
Respect the
lot.
refractory period. Mariah wants you to pay for your porn. I'm still sitting on the sidelines of this argument.
Help someone who needs the money right now.
True. I already said strippers. I mean, this is a tough time for strippers in particular. Porn stars, I'm not so worried about. I feel like they're the industry is fucked. But in terms of getting work,
Yeah.
porn stars are in a good spot here.
Maybe check out OnlyFans. See if there's like a stripper who's doing some at-home
There you go.
videos. Support.
I have noticed many of these yoga instructors and such, therapists even. My therapist I have a video conference call with tomorrow. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
She won't know, but I won't have pants on. And that's the part she won't be able to therapy out of me.
I mean, why would you want to wear pants when you're at home?
I have no idea. I wouldn't. Ever.
Right.
What was I saying, though?
Helping out folks on OnlyFans. Yeah.
Strippers are in deep shit. Nobody can go to the strip club. That's got to be one of the worst places in the world you could be right now in terms of just contracting every disease that exists. So they're going to need to be doing these online versions just like the yoga teachers and the therapists. Find your favorite stripper on OnlyFans and give them a little love. That's what it's there for.
So if you're doing it 10 times a day, that could be 10 different strippers you are helping out every day.
Support your local stripper and OnlyFans entertainer. 30 times in 3 days. I love the phrasing of his question. He wants to know if there is a, quote, alternative to him pleasuring himself for the time being.
I mean, read a book, man. Space it out.
And read like a non-horny book, man. Like, find a book that's got no
Old
horniness.
Man in the Sea.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Boom. There you go. The Old Man in the Sea. That will help. There's alternative number 1. Read The Old Man in the Sea. Alternative number 2 is don't pleasure yourself. Alternative number 3 is don't pleasure yourself so often. Alternative number 4 is find someone else to pleasure you. And I guarantee you won't need to have it 10 times a day. Because first, they're not going to do that.
No.
Second, you will die. Unless you're just so spry. You've just been crushing liquid IG energy multipliers. Liquid
Stay
IV.
hydrated.
Liquid IG. Oh, wait, we have one more. You want to hear it?
Let's do it.
I guess we can play it. It's the final call. It'd be weird if we skipped it.
It would be weird.
Hotline call number 3. Final call. Here it is.
What's up, Ross? This is YKE here in San Diego, and I got a trash or not trash for you. So strip clubs, Mexico, casinos, bars between the ages of 18 and 21. Is that trash or not trash? Should you wait like the rest of the country until you're 21 to go to those places, or should you find loopholes like Indian reservations in Mexico and things like that to entertain yourselves? Is that trash or not trash? Thank you. Love the pod, guys. Keep it up.
Okay, thank you for your call and your question. It's odd that you mentioned strip clubs and casinos after we just talked about both. What a coinky dink. First of all, this is not a trash or not trash, really. But the part I want to talk about, well, first, I guess it's not trash to circumvent America's insane, you must be 21 to drink or gamble laws.
It's really silly. It's 19 in Canada, P.S., if anyone wanted to know.
19? Y'all just went like with a little middle ground there.
I think it's what it is in the UK as well. It's typically like you're already out of high school, so you can't like bring booze to high school
Right.
on your way to college.
Ah, there you go.
You know.
But no,
I
it's
get
not
it.
trash to circumvent that. Do whatever
No.
you got to do. I went to the casino for the first time at 18 in the Bahamas. Wasn't going to wait. In fact, I've only been to Vegas once. I didn't go to a casino in the United States till my own bachelor party. That's not true. Harrah's in New Orleans many, many, many times. Fuck that casino, by the way. Holy shit. One time I sat down at Harrah's. This is why you go to MyBookie. One time I sat down at Harrah's. First of all, I waited like 30 minutes to get down to this blackjack table. I finally sit down. I mean, it was 2 minutes.
And you were out.
And the chips I had purchased were gone. 2 minutes. It was like 4 hands, just one hand lost, one hand lost, one hand lost, one hand lost. That was $100 I'm out. Hell on earth.
I've never been to a casino.
Ever?
Ever. I think I've maybe walked through one on a cruise ship before, but I don't know if that counts.
Oh, I don't even know if that counts. I've never seen a cruise ship one. I assume it's like a slightly like,
It's mostly just the slot machines.
It's an aquatic version.
But yeah, no casinos for myself.
Do you know if maritime law applies on gambling ships? It's a gaming ship.
It depends where the boat is registered.
Ah.
Fun nautical fact.
Here's what I want to take away from this phone call, though. I think each individual human should be tested separately to determine at what age they're eligible for different things, such as drinking, driving, smoking, having sex, owning a pet, and having children. I think you should have to pass some type of qualitative or perhaps even quantitative, I don't know what either of those words mean, tests to determine if you're prepared for any of those things. Because the general ones we've picked, the numbers, the fact that we let children operate automobiles, 16-year-olds, is on some other shit. That's fucking hilarious. We don't let you drink until you're 21, but you can drive a death machine down the road at 6 fucking teen? Do you have any idea how I am double the age of 16 and I should barely be allowed to drive now. I'm 32. At 16, I shouldn't have been allowed to drive a RC fucking remote control car down the street, much less an actual Ford Expedition, which is what I was cruising around in. Day one, I ripped a Sonic menu out of the ground. Day one.
Solid.
It's a fucking miracle that I never killed anybody. Thank you, God and universe or whatever, for looking out for me there. Holy shit. 16? Are you out of your minds? But for drinking, it's like, I know people who sure as fuck weren't ready at 21. They'll never be ready. I might be one of them. I would fail the test. They'd just go, no, you don't have a drinking age. Smoke weed. And I'd go, okay.
Great.
I'd pass the shit out of the weed test. They'd be like, yes, you need this. The smoking test, flying colors. Having a pet or a child, let's just put those two together. Many of you are not fit to raise another human being, much less a furry friend. Reverse those 2 points, though.
I was like, that's a very interesting stance.
I just find the pets to be more important. You're just not. You'd fail the shit out of that test if it was qualitative or quantitative. It'd just be tight if we had individual tests for each of these things. This is like a Larry David. This is like a Curb Your Enthusiasm idea. But it's one I stand by.
The bureaucracy of the test, though, I'm already thinking. Insane.
You're right.
We can barely get it together to handle.
We can't even do like the SAT.
Yeah, we can't handle this shit.
I don't even know how it's scored anymore, the SAT.
I think it's the same.
I kicked ass on mine, considering.
I
didn't do very good.
Yeah.
I did all right.
My SAT was not great. I don't remember what my score was, though. My ACT, though. But it didn't matter. I went to art school. Legit didn't matter.
I think I got an 1120. I think that's the correct number. And I was like as close to operationally brain dead as you can be at that point in my life. So I feel like that's like the fact that I got above 1,000, and this was the old way of scoring, kids. If you're like, Jesus, man, you got 3 questions right? I don't know how it's scored anymore. I think there's like 4,600 points you can get or something crazy. But I was like, that's a perfect score for me. The fact that I got over 1,000 might as well have been a perfect score. I was so stoked. And that's the only reason I got into college, by the way. That and that they fucked up on my transcript and thought I was top 10%. I wasn't. At Texas State, they were like, what the fuck? This guy, he's top 10%. Shouldn't he be at UT? My God, let him in. And then like at the fucking orientation, they were like, you got to apply to the business school, son. And I was like, will do. And I applied and they let me into that too. And I was so confused. And it's because I was in the 52nd percentile of my class. And they thought I was 52nd out of like 4,200 kids or whatever. Which makes no sense at all, except it makes perfect sense because it's Texas State University. Respect my alma mater, but also mock it because it's a hilarious place. just very poorly run, might I add. In you know what? No, in every way. Academically, athletically, socially, they're just not a huge fan of the way that the school has been run. Building-wise, they're doing great. Architecturally, man, they're good at that shit, but fuck me. Can you field one football team worthy of watching? I'd rather watch most of the local high school games.
Well, I think that's because Texas takes football so seriously.
So does Texas A&M and Tech, and you figure we find like 3 kids who can throw and catch, though. Anyway, I have no idea what this call was originally about. We should probably move on, but our hotline, the number is 888-WR-BOLEN. Call at any time. Ask a question. Trash or not trash. Throw out a hypothetical. Please understand. A trash or not trash is a very specific thing. You have to frame it up correctly. So the question would have been like, is it trash to gamble or drink under the age of 21? And the answer would be fuck the fuck no. Depending. Have you passed the test? Sing us a song. Do whatever you want with the hotline. 888-WR-BOLEN. 24/7, 365 days a year. It cuts you off at 2 minutes. Be succinct. Be clear. Don't call from a wind tunnel. It's time for our next segment. It's the animal of the fucking week.
And now, Ross Bolen's Animal of the Week.
The animal of the week this week is the Brazilian wandering spider.
This thing is terrifying looking.
It's fucking tight.
It has like those weird red like nodules on its face. It looks like a baboon's butt, but on its face.
Yes. Monkey butt face spider is what we're going to call it.
Yeah.
Because that's way less terrifying than Brazilian wandering spider. Like, oh, great. A spider that wanders. That's what we needed. Thanks a lot, God. So the Brazilian wandering spider is a nocturnal killing machine that actually refuses to build webs like a normal spider. Instead, it walks around all night like a psychopath just looking for things to murder and eat.
It's like the Freddy of the animal kingdom.
And it has monkey butt face. And during the day, they hide in places that are easily disturbed by people, like houses and cars or in your shoes or in piles of wood, which is just super neat for humans.
It's great.
Traditionally, they reside in South America. They've been found in different areas all over the world because they have a propensity to lie low in random places like crates filled with fruits and vegetables that are shipped out of Brazil.
Like half our produce.
Uh-oh. They specifically like hiding in bunches of bananas, which is why they're also known as banana spiders.
Which is confusing because I think there's also just regular like yellow banana spiders here.
Perhaps. I think you might be right about that.
It's confusing.
This is exactly why I don't eat fruit. I actually had 2 bananas yesterday, and now I'm terrified I may have eaten one of these spiders.
I think you would notice that motherfucker's huge.
It's true. That's very true. You would feel the crunch of the Brazilian wandering spider, or the monkey butt-face spider, as it's known in other science communities, almost immediately. But this is like, look at it on Google. Y'all know, whenever we do Animal of the Week, you Google the thing and you look at Google Images while I talk about it. Look at this shit. It's straight out of a horror movie. The freaks have 8 eyes. They're arranged into 3 rows. The first row is 2 sets of eyes. The second row has 4, and the third has 2 bigger eyes. Very, very creepy.
Do they eat anything like useful to add to the ecosystem?
I'm sure they do, but they're still very scary.
True.
Most spiders do provide us a service of some kind.
Right. Like,
they
I
take
don't
out
mind...
bugs we like less.
Exactly.
As long as they stay away from us, we're fine with them. You know?
Mm-hmm. I don't mind them outside of my backyard, chill. I don't even mind them. I've got one that lives in like the corner window of my shower, but it's really small, and I'm like, you're fine.
I feel that. I feel that. The corner window with the shower thing, I feel that. It's like, you're not doing anything to me. The outside ones, I'm not so with. Because I got one of those dumbass fucking, when you walk out onto my back porch, it's like a terrace or something.
A pagoda?
Yeah, but it's see-through, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's planks across the top.
Yeah.
Rain comes through it and shit.
Okay.
What's the point of it?
Well, usually you plant stuff to like grow on that.
Well, that's fucking interesting. I haven't done that. But what does happen is spiders use it as a fucking place to build all number of intricate webs that I then walk out, and when I'm taking my dogs outside in the morning, or sometimes late at night in the dark, and sometimes I'm quite stoned, and I'll walk straight through a spider web, and then it's just like 20 minutes of me screaming and doing stop, drop, and roll like I'm on fire.
You got to get yourself a spider stick.
Is the concept that you just like,
Like when I go hiking with friends, the person who's at the front of the hike has to have the spider stick, and you just like kind of wave it around as you're going through to knock all the spider webs out.
All right, I like the spider stick.
Get yourself a spider stick.
It's a good concept. Some of you may be asking, what else is so scary about a Brazilian wandering spider?
What is it?
Well, it's the world's most venomous spider.
That is terrifying.
Actually, like in the Guinness Book of World Records. And unlike other spiders that run away when they hear us coming, humans, this thing actually bucks up and becomes aggressive and attacks.
He's ready for a fight.
Yeah, and if you're looking at him, like those legs, they're like, Rah! Like they're fucking coming at you.
He stands up.
Yeah, they kick their legs up. They do a crazy dance. They rock from side to side as a warning when they feel threatened. Also, if you have a dick, a bite from the Brazilian wandering spider will give you a 4-hour erection.
Dang.
Which, as you know from every commercial ever,
It's when you should call your doctor.
means you have to call your doctor. And I'm almost like waiting for the day that I have to deal with ED so that I can take Viagra or one of these whatevers and enjoy a 4-hour erection and call my doctor just because I want to know what it's like to make that call. You know, because first of all, you're not talking directly to your doctor. It's going to be the front desk lady. And she's going to have to relay the message to the doctor, and you're going to have to say, yo, well, I remember the commercials, and this erection's been here for more than 4 hours, so could you have Dr. Walters give me a call back? My number is 832-675-5050-5050-50.
Do you know what they do when that happens? They have to put a giant-ass needle in your dick.
I heard about this.
Yeah.
It's a shot to the dick. Mm-hmm. Solves the boner,
Correct.
but traumatizes you for life.
Probably.
I have to imagine. That's one thing I'm thankful for. Knock on wood. All the wood. No shots to the dick so far. Huge win for me.
Are they doing anything with this spider and his crazy venom?
Probably.
Like using it in some way, shape, or
Solving some kind of ED, probably. I have to hope. Oh, it's being studied for erectile dysfunction treatments. How about that? Wow. But unfortunately, this venom will also kill you. But you will die fully torqued.
form? Ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, you may be asking yourself, what do I do if I encounter a Brazilian wandering spider? Dance with it. Dance the dangerous dance of life. Hopefully that'll at least partially distract it so that you can locate the nearest heavy object and throw it at the fucker, because it's going to attack. Just repeat that until the venomous boner-giving beast has ceased to exist. Or just use a broom and fling it outside if you're against killing it or whatever, as you should be. Because all of God's creatures were created equally. RBP 276 is also brought to you by Bespoke Post. If your mailbox is anything like mine, 90% of the time it's a fairly depressing place. Political flyers, utility bills, unholy amounts of coupons. But once a month, I do have a reason to be stoked. And that's because of my box of awesome from Bespoke Post. Everything I receive in my box of awesome is always dope. I love Bespoke Post. They send guys only the best stuff every month, and no matter what you're into, Box of Awesome has you covered. From style and grooming goods to barware, cooking tools, outdoor gear, Box of Awesome has carefully built collections for every part of your life. Right now, some of my favorite boxes are the Switchback, providing everything you need but the tent to survive in the wild because, yeah. Right now, yeah. Or perhaps the Forge, because you must stay strapped with a good knife in these trying times. It's Damascus steel. The Forge knife. You don't even know what the fuck that means. And
Sounds
neither do
fancy.
I. But it does sound fancy. And biblical.
Or like a Game of Thrones.
Get the Forge. To get started, take the quiz at boxofawesome.com. Your answers help them pick the right box of awesome for you. They release new boxes every month across a ton of different categories. Check out the site. It's free to sign up. You can skip a month or cancel at any time. Each box costs only $45, but has over $70 worth of gear inside. Get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com. Enter the code RBP at checkout. That's boxofawesome.com. Code RBP for 20% off your first box. Next segment. Won't You Teleport to Me, Jamie? That's a Kid Cudi song.
Oh, I was like, I don't understand the
Yeah,
reference to
sorry
this
if you
title.
did. I realize that's a little bit of an obscure reference. This is one of those like emo breakup rap songs that I've just banged way too many times in my life to not be ashamed. But I've decided to remove all shame from my life, so I'm relinquishing it right now. I fucking love that song. I don't care. Get off my back. Sometimes I cry too.
It's good. It's cathartic.
It's actually really unhealthy not to. You know, in like one of the first 5 episodes of the show we ever did, I argued that? That was a ridiculous move. I respect me for doing it.
We all grow and change.
Respect Mr. Bolen! Okay, so I saw this question on Reddit a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. It was trending. God bless Reddit for all that it does for us as the front page of the internet, and all the horrible things that it does for us as well.
As the back page of the internet.
As the back page of the internet. My God, the things I've seen on Reddit that I can't unsee have impacted me in ways that I won't know for many, many, many thousands of dollars worth of therapy from now. But here was the question posed, and given the current circumstances, we're going to discuss this hypothetical. It's a fantastic one from Reddit. If scientists invented a teleportation system, but the death rate was 1 in 5 million, would you use it? Why or why not?
I meant to, before we started, look up what the statistic was of like flying.
I think it's comparable. Because I was going through this Reddit thread, and there's like 90,000 comments on this thing now. Y'all can go check it out. It's fucking incredible, all the different arguments and the points. And that was one of them. That like the statistics on flying are not so far crazy removed from this that it makes it like...
Because I'm pretty sure like driving every day is probably more dangerous.
Than 1 in 5 million. But here's the thing that's crazy about it is it's the concept of like it'd be like pushing the button, right?
Oh my gosh.
And that's the 1 in 5 million. So it's like instant.
I mean, but would that be like the worst way to go?
Nah.
Right?
I think that's a part of the equation here. If it literally is just that 1 in 5 million hits the teleporter button and they're dead instantly, teleported to death, fuck yes.
Right.
Also depending, obviously, on the usage of the teleportation system. Now, here's the thing for me. Most of the times in my life that I have thought to myself, God, I would do anything for a teleportation system right now, for a teleporter, involved either sex or food and the inability to get to the place where those two things were. One or the other usually. Sometimes both. But
Whatever
rarely.
you're into.
Yeah. Sometimes I go George Costanza. Sometimes I eat a sandwich during. The fuck are you going to do about it? Nothing. But seriously, I can't count how many times in my life I've been like, if I had a teleporter right now, I'd be getting laid. But I don't, so I'm not. Because I either can't drive, or I'm too lazy to drive, or I'm too fucked up to drive, and this chick wants me to come over. Too many times. And I don't mean that in like a braggadocious way. I mean it in like I think that's a pretty fucking frequent thing that happens to all of us.
Right.
How many times at night have you been like, you know, you're on vacation away from your loved one or whatever, and you're like, God damn it, I wish I had a teleporter so I could get, I'm sorry, or like a work trip or something, so I could just get 20 minutes, maybe you only need a few, 3-4 minutes with your person. You know what I'm saying?
Half the time when I'm laying on the couch already at night, I want to teleport to my bed so I don't have to move.
See, now that is where I have to draw the line. A 1 in 5 million chance of
I mean,
death?
I would not do it in this instance, but the thought crosses my mind the most when I'm
Okay.
already like half asleep somewhere and I just want to continue to do that and not have to move.
That is legitimately when you've had the thought about teleportation the most in your life.
Yes.
That's incredible. And it says a lot about me that the other one for me is food. And it's been when I've been either too stoned to drive or too drunk.
I think because we can get almost everything delivered now, I don't think of it as much.
Not me neither. This was more back in the day.
Right,
like
right.
in college and high school before all these delivery services existed.
Totally.
And I was constantly like, fuck, I would kill like 8 strangers for one teleporter right now. Which really says a lot about me and my 1 in 5 million thing, too. You remember that movie? And I believe it starred Cameron Diaz, if I'm not mistaken. It may have been called The Box, which is also a hit Roddy Ricch song.
The box.
Yeah, but I think it was Cameron Diaz, and I think it was Cameron Diaz, and somebody brings her a box, and they say you can press the button inside the box, and you get, I think it's like $10 million, but one person dies somewhere in the world. It's something stupid like that.
I think I do remember this movie. I don't think I saw it, but I remember this premise.
Oh, I saw it. It was shitty.
Right.
Do
What was
not
her
recommend.
choice? What was her choice?
I think she ends up pressing it. I can't remember. It was years ago.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident she presses the thing. And then there's like a crazy sequence of events
Of course.
that unfolds.
Because it has to be a movie more than just one button press.
Yeah, that would be really stupid if it was over after that. This for me is really tough. I mean, it totally is up to the circumstances, obviously, and how important they are. Like if it's me deciding I've got, I get a phone call and they tell me like I've only got a few minutes left with a family member or something, they're going to pass. Yeah, I'm using the teleporter. Fuck the 1 in 5 million. Boom, let's go. If it's for sex and it's been a really, really long time, 1 in 5 million. I'm 32. I made it a good distance.
Like 100 years ago, you'd probably already be dead.
Exactly. So what's a shot for a little bit of love, I'd take that button. Boom. Let's go. I'm probably not doing it for food.
That would be pretty silly now.
We got that delivery. We have a fucking Postmates code on the show.
Use
It's
it.
RBP. By the way, use all of our sponsor codes. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But y'all hit me up on Twitter. Tell me your reasoning for whether you would or would not use a teleportation system if the death rate was 1 in 5 million. I'll tell you right now, for me, with y'all know I have issues with driving and anxiety, especially on the highway and shit. Well, with the current situation and obviously not wanting to Uber places right now, it sucks balls. I'd be having to hit this button a lot. We're going to be playing a lot of Russian roulette if this teleportation system gets handed to me right now. But I feel that argument from Mariah. It's like, if it's just instant,
Right.
let's go.
Why not?
Time for our next segment. Stuff the Wikipedia when you're high.
Grab your light. This is Stuff the Wikipedia when you're high.
Stuff the Wikipedia when you're high.
what we're all doing this entire quarantine.
Do you know how many people are smoking marijuana right now?
Oh, half the world's population has to be.
An outrageously high number, and I mean, no pun intended. I mean, I'm not joking. One of the first things I did when this shit started to hit the fan is I hollered at my green man. I was just like, what's the deal here? Y'all gonna be providing as normal your services? They're like, actually, we're taking next week off, like, because we had no fucking clue what's going on, just like anybody else. And I was like, that's cool. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and buy like everything you have.
Bring it all to me.
So just come on by the house and bring me all of that, and I'll take all of it, and then I'll give you all of the money that it takes to get all of that to be mine. That was the conversation. So I'm good for quite a while because I think ahead. As I said on Twitter, you motherfuckers were buying toilet paper. I was buying that loud. Today's Stuff to Wikipedia When You're High, shout out to my boy Coles, a.k.a. Chris for the lead, is Operation Paperclip. And I could have sworn this was a segment that at one point we were going to do on an episode that got pulled because we ran out of time. And I can't remember if we did. If we did this already somehow, I'm fucking sorry. But it's fascinating as hell, so we're doing it again if that's the case. I don't think that's the case. But Operation Paperclip was a secret program of the Joint Intelligence Objectives Agency, otherwise known as JIO-A. It's not. Largely carried out by special agents, of Army Counterintelligence Corp, otherwise known as ACC. That one actually is known as ACC, in which more than 1,600 German scientists, engineers, and technicians, such as Werner von Braun and his V-2 rocket team, were taken from Germany to the United States for U.S. government employment, primarily between the years of 1945 and 1959. The catch, of course, being that many of these scientists, most, were former members, and some even former leaders, of the Nazi Party. You remember the Nazis?
What? America using other people's pain to have gains of their own? Never.
Y'all remember the Third Reich? This is one of those things about American history that when you're taught American history as a kid gives you a skewed version. Because you never get this angle. They never tell you this shit. And listen, I'll be straight with you. Even like I am fully fucking aware that our government, just as every other government on this planet does sketchy, fucked up shit in the name of their own good, their own good, not caring about the rest of the world, or even sometimes in the case of their own citizenship. I'm completely aware of that. In this case, this is not just America, by the way. We are not the only country that did this. And it is a very strange concept. It's fucking outrageous to think about. But all these German Nazi scientists were scooped up. And basically okay, so here, the primary purpose of Operation Paperclip was U.S. military advantage in the Soviet-American Cold War and the space race. So the Americans and the Soviets, both immediately after the World War II is over, are like, yeah, fuck whatever the scientists were doing in that Nazi shit. Fuck it. We need them for the space race, and we just start scooping up as many Nazi scientists as we can. And now apparently, if you want to feel good about it, the Soviet Union was more aggressive in forcibly recruiting more than 2,200 German specialists, a total of more than 6,000 people, including family members, with Operation something I can have absolutely no chance of saying, Osowa via Kim? That was kind of close. During one night on October 22nd, 1946. One night.
Dang.
Overall, through its operations to 1990, Operation Paperclip imported 1,600 men as part of the intellectual reparations owed to the U.S. and the U.K., valued at $10 billion in patents and industrial processes.
Bananas.
Intellectual reparations were a thing. I have never heard that phrase. That is outrageous. So, as a result of World War II and the damage that the German Reich did to the rest of the world,
they're like, we're just going to take all your smarts.
We need all that tech. Hey, guys, that IP is ours now.
Thanks.
We're going to scoop up all these Nazi scientists that were doing things like human fucking testing, and we're going to make them work on spaceships. Get us to the moon. We landed on the moon.
Great. No one tell anyone where you used to live.
Listen, we're really stoked that you guys are helping us get to the moon. Really stoked. Never, ever, ever tell anybody about your past employment history. We're tearing up your resume.
Throw away that CV.
Start a new one.
Your first job is with NASA.
Totally new identity coming. You are no longer named. Let's see. What's the most German name I can find on you? Oh, that's not a is that a yep. Hubertus Strughold is no longer your name. Now you're Frank Thomas. Congratulations. One of the great Chicago White Sox. So a lot of these Nazi scientists we brought over end up getting all kinds of awards and shit. Of course they did. During their prestigious careers in the United States, and they contributed massively to American technology. For example, the NASA Distinguished Service Medal is the highest award which may be bestowed by the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA. After more than 2 decades of service and leadership in NASA, 4 Operation Paperclip members were awarded the NASA Distinguished Service Medal in 1969. Kurt Diebes, Eberhard Rees, Arthur Rudolph, and Werner von Braun. Ernst Geisler was awarded the medal in 1973.
Gotta love giving war criminals awards.
What a fucking turnaround for these guys, though. From legit being some of the most evil humans to ever exist,
Right.
to getting swooped up out of there. We were hanging people left and right. These guys get swooped up out of there, brought over here and told, hey, listen, you work for NASA now, baby. Next thing you know, 30 years have passed, and you're getting a goddamn award. Unbelievable. 2 lunar craters are named after paperclip scientists.
Crazy.
Werner von Braun was chief architect of the Saturn V launch vehicle, the key instrument in getting man to the moon. Adolf Busemann. Adolf!
What a rough name to have after World War II.
That guy was absolutely a Nazi.
Right?
Adolf Busemann didn't need to be interviewed. Nobody had to check his resume.
Clear.
He was the mind behind the Swept Wing, which improved aircraft performance at high speeds, and the list goes on and on. Well, eventually people got wise to this shit. For 50 years, from 1963 to 2013, the Strughold Award, named after Hubertus Strughold, the father of space medicine, for his central role in developing innovations like the spacesuit and space life support systems. That used to be the most prestigious award from the Space Medicine Association, a member organization of the Aerospace Medical Association. But on October 1st, 2013, in the aftermath of a Wall Street Journal article published on December 1st, 2012, which highlighted his connection to human experiments during World War II, the Space Medicine Association's executive committee announced that the Space Medicine Association's Strughold Award had been retired.
Not even just like renamed?
You have to rename it, and then you have to go back and rename it in all the people who won it in the past.
Yeah.
Imagine getting the Strughold Award as your like crowning achievement in life, and
It's
then
on your
5 years
resume,
later,
and then
yeah,
like
you find out Strughold, oh, he was doing human experiments on the Jewish people in the Holocaust. Not a good look.
imagine having that like on a shelf in your house, and if you had like friends over for dinner and they see the name and they're like, "Oh, we gotta leave."
And you know the trophy was just like, it was just Strughold, like spelled
Right.
out. That was the award.
Totally.
Strughold, and
Big
then smaller
plaque.
below, yeah, award. Somehow like a swastika mixed into the
Oh,
design.
no.
Just fucking insane. Who knows what shit we use daily that was invented by some fucking Nazi scientist paying his intellectual reparations for, you know, the Holocaust. Unbelievable. That's your stuff to Wikipedia for your when you're high for this week. Operation Paperclip. Again, thanks to Chris. My boy Chris, a.k.a. Coles, for the lead. Next segment. RBP Impact Initiative. So with everyone so anxious and on edge today, I wanted to share another RBP Impact Initiative email very quickly from a listener and give some perspective and advice on how to handle the universal anxiety we're all kind of coping with right now. So this is an email from, we'll call him Goose. Goose said, I had my first panic attack today. I was standing in the shower and all of a sudden I lost all my breath, my legs went limp, and a rush of emotions, anger, sadness, jealousy, angst came over me. One of the most terrifying feelings I've ever experienced. It didn't last long, though. Almost immediately, I understood what was happening to me. Your voice popped into my head, and thoughts of whale noises and your, quote, listen to this when you're having a panic attack, end quote, brought me back to reality. and I was able to calm down. I'm 22 years old. I'm graduating from college this semester. Not only is this pandemic cutting my college life short, but, as I'm sure it's doing for many people, it's also creating new sources of stress for me. First of all, I have to live with my parents at home, both of which are at risk of losing their jobs because of this stuff. The job I had lined up after graduation is also at risk. And funny, but also not funny, we're starting to run out of toilet paper at my house. On top of that, the girl I've been chasing for months shut me down hard. This was my first experience with anxiety or any other mental health issues, and without RBP, I don't know how I would have handled it. The podcast used to be a funny and entertaining way to kill some time while also getting some good advice along the way, but today, I got to use some of that advice, and now RBP means so much more. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gang, gang, gang. Sincerely, Goose. Goose, thank you, my man. Thank you for reaching out and sharing your story. I have spoken with countless people over the last few days who are either mental health people already that are really struggling because right now is a tough time where there's sort of this frenzy in the air, and everybody, if you're sensitive to that stuff, which I most certainly am, if you're an empath, you're going to feel it. And you got to be real careful with how much you expose yourself to all that. We talked about that last episode. Don't stay on Twitter all day. Don't update your phone and have all the push notifications on and just feed yourself this. Don't let every one of your group texts just be nonstop conversation about this shit. That's not necessary. And everyone's feeding into everyone's collective anxiety right now. And it's just not good. So what we need to do is all help each other with that. Remind each other, we don't have to talk about this shit all the time. There's no point in being updated every hour and a half. Or even, just pick a couple times a day to update yourself or whatever. Then, first of all, I want to say, I often have experienced anxiety in the shower. The shower, I think, because it's a place that gives you solitude, you're in your own head, shower thoughts. You often have very good ideas in the shower. Well, you can have some bad ideas, too, that get you worked up and get you anxious. Used to have panic attacks in the shower all the time in college when I was hungover. Very familiar with that feeling. And let me tell you, you can't wait to get the fuck out of that shower. But you also feel like you need to finish the shower. It's a horrible feeling. Like shampooing my hair, like, okay, I might pass out in any second. God, I really don't want to get found naked and dead. That's always my thought process. If you want to know how this works, like, I'm serious. So I'll start having a panic attack. I've got shampoo in my hair. I'm like, fuck. I might be about to pass out. I can't breathe. My brain's going crazy. My flight or fight is triggered. But I don't want to get found naked in the shower, so I want to get out and dry off and, like, get dressed. And then at least if I die, I'll be fully clothed and look like a regular, respectable human. I don't look regular and respectable naked, apparently. And but I've got soap in my hair. I need to wash it out. And it's like, well, fuck, I haven't washed my body yet. Do I use my body wash? Oh, God. And this whole thing takes forever. It's awful. But here's what y'all need to be doing. First of all, listening to the podcast is a great way to get your mind off shit. We're going to be doing a rule starting next week. No talking about the crap. If we do hotline calls and y'all have some things that address things related to it, I'll answer them like we did today. But I don't want to directly speak to this, sort of like a Voldemort situation. I haven't said it today, I don't think. And I don't want to. We don't need to feed this thing any more than we're already feeding it. Stay home, be safe, take care of yourself, though. That's the important thing here. Read, help your brain stay sharp, call your grandparents, keep up with your people, remind each other on group text not to feed the shit. Get outside.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mariah.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I've been going outside and putting my phone on Do Not Disturb for the walk and just listening to whatever podcast I have on, trying to pick ones that I've been going back in archives because then there's no mention of it.
Hell yes.
It's
great move.
It's great.
Genius move.
And then
love that.
Scheduling like Zoom hangouts with my friends. So we all get our cups of coffee or beer or whatever we've got, and we just like have happy hour or coffee
on the computer.
Dates on the computer. Yeah, it's great.
I love that. If you're new to the show and you never heard our original episodes, go back, start with RBP 1. We've also got, if you're looking for TV shows to watch, fill the time. Westworld, Season 3 just started. Freeze All Motor Functions is our Westworld podcast. Oysters, Clams, and Cockles. We cover all number of shows and movies. But read, call your people, keep up with them, do FaceTime, since we're social distancing, FaceTiming with each other, even just getting that connection, looking somebody in the eye. Don't stare at yourself the whole time, you vain fuck. Look each other in the eye, talking to each other. That's important. That's helpful. If you can't see your people, FaceTime with them. That's a tool that the older you are, like my age and up, man, I'm right there. I barely ever use this shit. And when I use it, I'm like, fuck, why don't I do this all the time? I know I look like a potato, but damn, this is cool. I don't know why I don't use it more.
It's great. You get to see your friends' pets. That was dope. Last night
Huge for pet sharing.
saw dogs. They were great. Showed off my cat.
You could give a tour of your place.
I did. So I have goats that live in my backyard. And so I took my friends out into my backyard to see the goats and I fed them and they got to watch like a little goat TV.
You have goats?
My neighbor has goats.
I want to watch goat TV.
I'll live stream some goat TV later.
All right. Look at that. We got goats to look forward to now. There's another thing. Watch goats. It'll make you feel better. Unfollow all those fucking accounts that are making you miserable, like I said last episode. But get outside in a safe way. Run in your neighborhood. Run a couple miles, even if you can only do a mile. Maybe you do a half mile, and then you walk a half mile. Get outside. Keep yourself active. Find ways to continue working out, supporting as many of your people as you can, which takes me to our next point, really, in our last segment. Keeping the podcast alive. So with all the uncertainty in the world right now, unfortunately, the podcast industry is going to be severely impacted just like everyone else. We already lost one of my favorite sponsors. By the way, people keep asking if it's Lisa. It's not. For Q2. And that, unfortunately, is not going to be the last one. We lost this particular sponsor as a result of them pulling all of their podcast spend for Q2 while they wait to see how everything unfolds here. Now, that's going to be the way it is with a lot of businesses. Many people are going to be impacted and affected, which is why it's so important that those that you do care for, that you have the ability to support, that you do that. I was half joking earlier, but I'm not, about the stripper thing.
Do it.
There are all these people in all these industries that if you rely on them typically for entertainment, for taking your mind off stuff, for providing you with, podcasts, lap dances, columns, articles, videos, whatever, content, entertainment. Support those people because they're going to be struggling during all this. It's going to be very difficult for all of us. But it's very important that we keep these individual, especially smaller businesses like mine. I'm going to need y'all's help because it's going to get weird, real weird. To support this show, go to patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast. You get a couple additional episodes of RBP a month. One is an interview. One is a hotline call extravaganza. They're ad-free. Everything on Patreon is advertisement-free in exchange for your financial support of this podcast. Because the advertising industry is getting turned on its head a little bit here. Budgets are going to be weird and shit. Patreon just became 1 billion times more important. And I'm currently coming up with ways to bring y'all more there, to motivate y'all to support, to get on there, to join one of the tiers. The RBP gang or the OGs. Thank y'all so much to the OGs who throw down $100 a month in support of this show. Cannot tell y'all how huge that has been. And everybody who's ever supported at any point on Patreon. I love y'all. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this for a living. But now I'm asking y'all more than ever for your support because this is going to get weird. And we're having to make all kinds of adjustments to the way we record. Obviously, the studio situation is tumultuous as a result of all this, so we're figuring all that out now too. It's going to cost me some moolah. Come through. The other thing is, we're not just trying to stay alive, we're trying to push forward. I'm going to hire a full-time co-host so that there is some it's less tumultuous, to use that word again, in terms of what voices you're hearing on the show. Of course, we're going to rotate everybody else that you've ever heard in and out as much as we can still. But I want somebody full-time because I need somebody full-time focused on this with me. And at some point this year, that's the goal. Had some personal stuff to get through first, almost through it. Then this shit hits. Not sure how that's going to affect it one way or the other. That is one of the goals in 2020. To get our first Bolen Media full-time employee that's not me. In order to do that, I'm going to need y'all's help. Patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast is a great way to support RBP. Listen, if you don't have the funds financially to throw money at me, I totally understand that. Please just do what you can to share the show. Spread the word about the show. Tell people about RBP. Throw it up on your Instagram, on your Facebook, on your Twitter, on whatever social media, on your fucking OnlyFans. Another way you can support us, twitch.tv/BossRollin. I'm going to be streaming a lot more. I'm actually having my home office where I stream right now converted into a little sound-treated studio for the purposes of needing a way to continue to record this show and do more stuff on Twitch. So twitch.tv/Boss Roland. That's Ross Bolen with the B and the R reversed. Very clever, I know. Clever girl. Last night we were playing Warzone. Then we played Apex Legends. Going to be playing a lot of games. Twitch.tv/Boss Roland. We may start doing some more live pods on there too. If we get to partner, which we almost are. Yesterday was our most successful stream we've ever had on there, I think. We got to get our average up to 75. And if we get to partner, that's when shit gets real on Twitch and we can start doing as many live podcasts on twitch.tv/Boss Roland as we want. Tell everybody about the show. Oysters, clams, and cockles for all the best in TV and film. We're covering Curb Your Enthusiasm. We just started watching Devs. If you're looking for a new show, Devs on FX, which is also on FX on Hulu, has been phenomenal through the first episode. Barrett and I just discussed it on Oysters, Clams, and Cockles this week. Freeze All Motor Functions if you're watching Westworld. Those two sites, if you're like, man, I love RBP, but I'm really a Clam Fam guy, or I'm really part of the Fam, and more importantly, that's cool. Then join those Patreons. They have their individual Patreon pages. Any shit, it doesn't even have to be mine. If you're like, I love you, man, but you're my third favorite podcast, fine. Support your first favorite. Because I can tell you they're going to need it during this shit. So even if it's not me, even if it's a stripper, or your therapist that you're thinking about cutting her out of your budget because you can't go, fuck that. Do the video stuff, first of all, because you need that shit now more than ever. But also, that's their livelihood. And also take care of your shit. And also, a lot of us are going to lose our livelihoods during the course of this nonsense. Don't forget, you are not alone. All of us are sitting through this crap together. Every single one of us is in a tough spot right now. So we got to band together, help each other, feed positivity, take out the negativity, stop the fucking feeding of it in the group text and the goddamn tweets. Let's get some positivity going. Help each other out. No reason that this can't make us all better people. At the very least, while we all fucking suffer.
True.
Word? Word. That will do it for today's show. But before you head out to take on the world, it's time for some very important announcements. First and foremost, I don't have to say all these things again. Oysters, clams, and cockles. Freeze all motor functions. Support all your favorite podcasts, creators, strippers, your dentist. I don't know what to tell him. My dentist emailed me today. I can't come in for a cleaning.
Yeah, mine did that last week too.
Mine did today. I was like, first of all, bro, you really held out here.
Really trying to see.
He's just been sitting in his office for 3 days, seeing if anyone would come in and let him clean their teeth. Anyway, support your favorite creators. Support each other, most importantly. You have 3 legal obligations you've been saddled with as a result of listening to this entire podcast. First, rate and review on Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars. Write 2 or 3 sentences about why you love the show. Apple Podcasts. I cannot believe y'all allowed me to open an entire episode of this thing rapping Mo City Dawn, by the way.
What a cold open.
I still can't believe that actually occurred. I expected to take more shit from that. I didn't. It was I feel like people didn't know how to react. I frankly don't either. It's just something I promised I would do a long time ago, so I did. Rate and review on Apple Podcasts. Sorry, that was a random thought. Tell one friend, family member, coworker, neighbor about the show. You have to share the show with one person this week, one person next week, one person every week until the week you die, which will hopefully be a very, very long time from now. That's your second legal ob. Share the show. I'm begging y'all right now. If you're ever going to share the show, now is the time. Please, 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 please. I appreciate you. Your third and final legal obligation, use those sponsor codes. Support our sponsors, the ones that are still with us especially. Need them to know that y'all are there so that they continue to support us and keep the money coming in so we can continue to do our thing. My bookie this week, RBP Casino, 150% sign-up bonus up to $750. Remember, there's a 40 times rollover. Look up how that works. Don't just throw money into shit you don't understand. Read the fucking explanation. Thank you. And also Bespoke Post, boxofawesome.com, code RBP for 20% off your first box. Support our sponsors. That's another huge, huge way for you to support this show, to support Bolen Media. It means a lot. Thank you so much for listening and for doing that, and all your legal obs. Follow us on Instagram at The Ross Bolen Podcast, on Twitter at Ross Bolen Pod. We're on Facebook.com. Somewhere, if you're the middle-aged aunt of one of our listeners, you can figure it out and find us. Follow me, Ross Bolen, on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at WR Bolen on all 3 of those platforms, at WRBOLEN, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. And listen to OCC, listen to FAMP. Mariah, where can we follow you on social media and hear more of your lovely voice?
Yeah, so I'm at Mariah Gossett. That's MYRRIAH, and then Gossett is GOSSETT. I know it's strange. I have hippies for parents, and they're wonderful humans.
I think it's
However,
a tight-ass name.
it's it's unique. I'm the only one, I believe. I haven't found anybody else. But
Really?
anyway, yeah. You can follow me there. I will be posting lots of podcasts that I work on right now because we could definitely use the support and the listens so that we can continue to keep our advertisers, as Ross has been talking about, listen to all the shows,
Same
share
thing.
them. Your friends are looking for stuff to occupy their time, so share those shows. Picard is still happening, so Star Trek Pod is still going on.
There
So
you
we're going
go.
to be live streaming tonight. Yeah. So check out our show at Star Trek Pod, Star Trek Discovery Pod, on anywhere you can find your podcasts.
Right on.
Do it.
Love it. We'll be back soon with episode 277, RBP 277 coming soon. It's probably going to be recorded in the comfort of my home, perhaps in a totally different situation. This could be the last time for quite a while you see this setup here at Permanent Record as a result of this whole damn situation. So if this is, I love y'all. It's been tight, y'all watching here. You're going to see a different room. And I might not ever have pants on again when we're recording. They make me wear pants here.
It's ideal.
But they can't make me wear pants in the comfort of my own home. RBP 277 coming soon. You are not alone. Podman gets paid. Respect Mr. Park. Strength and honor. Gang, gang, gang. Peace be with you and also with you.
Peace be with you and also with you.
Go low, baby.